Hey everybody, this is Joey at Boomtown. Just giving it a few more seconds here, letting some other people jump in. But thank you for joining this morning. Excited to have you all here. And we'll get going in just about 30 seconds. All right, let's get started. So thanks again for joining. Again, this is Joey at Boomtown. I'm really excited to talk about Poynt today and really all the new features and functionalities that have come across my desk at least. Just so you all know, these webinars that we do about once a month, they are mostly for new features, updates. We typically have third-party guests with the third-party app market. So if you need a sales training, if you need an operations training, feel free to reach out, pointsales@goboomtown.com. We will definitely set that up for you. We want to make sure that your team is well trained on how to sell Poynt. We have a lot of organizations that are doing extremely well right now at selling Poynt, and some that are kind of falling behind. So let us know where you feel like there's limitations. If you're not getting the services you need, we're definitely happy to jump in and help out. Again, pointsales@goboomtown.com. That's a great way just to get in touch with my team and obviously set up those trainings. Quick agenda for today. We have basically, we're going to talk about offline payments, which is basically store forward, which is going to be great for the Poynt community. It's something that a lot of merchants have been asking for. It's obviously going to make the native software of Poynt more competitive with, Square, Clover, a lot of the other smart terminals and POS out there. Spacepool preview. So basically Spacepool has built hardware, stationary hardware for the Poynt terminals that, you can lock it into a desk or kind of have it on a swivel. We'll talk a little bit about that. They weren't ready to actually give us the marketing for what it's going to look like. So I have some kind of blueprints, but we'll have them next month. And then I have a guest speaker from OpConnect. We're going to talk about a surcharge application, especially now that there's been new rules with Cash Discount. We do have a surcharge application on Poynt. And then I have Cash Discount LLC. Damon and Luke will be listening in and sitting in on the panel as well, just to talk about Cash Discount a little bit more in depth. And then, what they're doing as an organization and how they're adjusting. And we'll be having them as a guest actually next month. Feel free to ask, questions throughout the webinar. You're all on mute. We do that because, there's sometimes 90 of you. So I can't have you all asking questions at the same time. We'll get a little chaotic, but feel free to write in questions. If we do miss your question during the webinar, I will respond via email. And then we try to keep this agnostic. So we don't talk too much about pricing or services that are beyond our control. So if you are selling through another reseller, if you're selling through a parent company, go to them for any pricing on hardware or software. All of our resellers have access to our Sales Hub. In our Sales Hub, we have all the third-party apps. We have marketing for the third-party apps, marketing, collateral, sales content, anything you really need to kind of get going. We have these webinars. We make sure that everyone who's on the webinar or who even signed up for it will get a copy and a recording. Again, we're going to copy and record this the 8 a.m. and the 2 p.m. So you'll have access to both if you did miss it. Another reminder is that all your merchants get 24/7 support through our Connect application. They can slide for help. If your team does not know how to use us, please reach out. They get 24/7 chat and video support. We do keep it white labeled. We typically answer as Poynt support. Merchants can also text help to 22666, a great number just to keep. I get so many emails throughout the day like, hey, my merchant needs help. It's like, okay, great. Tell them to reach out to a team. I mean, that's literally why we built our whole operations facility in Scottsdale, Arizona. They are 24/7. If you have any issues with that, feel free to reach out to me, but just a great number to hold on to. Again, help 22666. If you are a sales agent, if they are a merchant that's not actually boarded yet, unfortunately, it will not go to a sales rep. So, another thing, just don't complain. Yeah, I'm texting this team, but they're not texting back. They're required not to. Once you board into Poynt Mission Control, they will have to ask who the merchant is and basically ID them. If they're not an active merchant, we unfortunately cannot service them. Feel free to go to pointsales@goboomtown.com. We'll also be at the Southeast Acquirer Show in Atlanta next week. We're going to be at ETA in Las Vegas, so Boomtown will be there. Poynt will also be there. I know Doug Berman will be there from the Poynt team at both, again, SEAA in Atlanta and then ETA in Las Vegas. If feel free to join us. I'll be there speaking about Poynt at our booth. Tyler will be there talking about our additional services. As some of you know, we do nationwide remote support, nationwide field services, training and activation services, and then we have a support software. The newest tool we have is a universal knowledge base based on payment products. So come by, say hi. If you need an introduction to the Poynt team as well, love to introduce you to Doug. We'll kind of be, teaming up to make sure that you guys, have everything you need at those shows. Again, Southeast Acquirer Show and then the ETA show in Las Vegas. And then just a reminder until the end of the month that there is still the 0.5 Wi-Fi terminals. There's a rebate at TPG Phoenix Group where you can get the hardware. They do have the extended battery sleeves and the printer, basically where you can put the 0.5 in there, and you can use that printer because of course the P16 or 0.6 we should say has the printer, but the 0.5 does not. All right, so let's talk about the Poynt updates. I'm going to jump into the store forward offline payments. One of the newer features that I'm really excited about. I have it on my terminal. It's working great. Basically, the value here is that your merchant never misses a payment. If they're offline, if they are taking a payment and their internet's down or they're not on 3G, and then basically once they connect, those payments will push, and it is all EMV. Basically, the capture payment connectivity is restored, and then a great value add. Something that I would probably even add to the in my marketing when talking about Poynt and emailing merchants. Like I said, I always like to pick a few things, but offline payments is going to be a huge driver. The business impact is they don't lose any transactions. Of course, there's a lot of value there, but once they've enabled the merchant, the feature details is you enable merchant account to accept offline payments. You customize the offline mode by configuring preferences such as the total number of transactions, maximum allowable amount. So you can kind of have settings, which is great, and limitations for your staff. And then while not connected to the internet, transactions list clearly outlines payments are processed offline and will clear them once the device is connected. So here's kind of a quick overview of what that looks like. And sorry, again, we'll pass out this deck, but you might not be able to see it. On the left, basically, it says terminal is offline, but transaction is stored. So it's going to give you the notification that you've stored transaction. Once you go to your transactions tab, you're going to see at the top, you have 3 pending offline transactions. And so again, those are not going to hit until you're back online. And then if you go to view details, you'll view those transactions. Once the transactions are cleared, once you're back online, you'll see it as a normal transaction on your transactions tab. This will be the reflection. You'll have the same reflection of what you see here on Poynt.net, for your merchants, so they can log in there and they can see exactly the same thing as they do on their terminal. But again, that's what the experience will look like from the actual terminal, and in how they will know. Again, that the key is really that the notification on the top left. Terminal offline, transaction stored. At least they should feel safe there. A lot of new features go into pilot. So if your merchant wants this right away, reach out to pointsales@goboomtown.com. We can enable it. Because this is dealing with EMV, for this one we might have to accept a new terms of service. But happy to walk through that. We want to make it a good experience. This will be on all terminals, hopefully within a few months. But again, it is available now. It just is in pilot. The reason we do that is just so we don't send out a new feature to all merchants, and then and we want to make sure we test the behavior of it, make sure everything's working great. We've done this with invoicing, with the inventory management app, and we've also done this now with the store forward offline payments. We luckily have not had any problems, but it's always great to pilot things before we actually put them into production. All right, so I have Stefan here from OpConnect. Stefan, you with me?
Yeah, Joey, I'm here.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining, and I would love for you to just quickly introduce yourself before we get into your slides.
Absolutely. First of all, I appreciate you having me join the call today, Joey, and Boomtown. So it's a pleasure for me to be here. So OpConnect, what we provide managed cellular connectivity in multiple ways. Here today, we're going to talk a lot about our SIM card solution that actually enables ISOs, agents, MSPs to actually kind of be more empowered and provide that additional connectivity piece to their merchants. We're already connecting a lot of Poynt terminals today, along with others with our SIM card solution, and we'll kind of go through all that. In addition, OpConnect does provide fully managed router solutions as well, which is another product that's kind of where our roots of our company is. So we've been in the connectivity space for about the last 12 years. We connect, pretty much everything. I mean, ATMs, we do all of the micro markets, monitoring equipment in the petroleum industry. A lot of that's with our managed router solutions. And we've been connecting payment processing terminals for a long time as well, and just growing that. One thing I would like to mention, unfortunately, we're not going to be at SCAA this year. We generally do have a booth at the acquirer shows, but we will be at ETA. So hopefully, if any of you will be joining those shows, we'll be at the show as well. But with that, we'll kind of jump into exactly what OpConnect does. So we do have, truly headache-free wireless connectivity with our SIM card solution. So one thing that we do have is 24/7, 365 US-based support, which is great. You, the agent, could be the go-between between your merchant and us. So you kind of add that additional level of support and actually get help if you're having connectivity problems. A lot of our stuff here, really some of the things, speed to market, ease of deployment, things like that are really applicable to our managed router solutions. But let's go ahead and move on to the next slide, Joey. So this is kind of just to give you a quick snapshot here of everything that we do. You do see our SIM cards there. On the slide is hardware. That's actually some of our managed router solutions. The one you see in the front, the little silver one, is actually about the size of a pack of Orbit's gum, direct IP connected. So that's kind of what that is. We do everything from the data plan, handle the equipment, hardware. We actually do put all of our connections on a private IP or a private network rather than the public internet network, which is actually just another level of security, which merchants love. Again, like I mentioned, 24/7, 365 US-based support. We do give you, the agents, visibility of all your wireless connected devices via our Summit portal, which is important. You could actually, within that, actually have it named. If you use multiple back-end processors, you can have them named by processor, merchant's location, everything, and actually see who's up, who's down, get a good snapshot there. One thing to mention about our Summit portal, it does have API integration, so that can be integrated into whatever system you currently use, which is great to give you that visibility of your connected devices in the field via your existing system. In addition to that, with some of these other things kind of aren't necessarily applicable in the SIM specifically, but we do have device level monitoring on our managed router solutions. We do offer carrier monitoring as well. So a lot of times within our command center, we'll actually identify network issues. One thing to mention there too is that we do work with multiple networks. So we do have access to AT&T, Verizon, Sprint. Soon to be, we'll have some, hopefully in the near future, some T-Mobile stuff, especially with that T-Mobile and Sprint merger. So that should be coming down the line. Right now, one thing I wanted to notate was on the Poynt devices, we are just deploying AT&T SIM cards for those, mainly because Verizon actually does not, they don't have a certification with them. They're a little more picky about what's getting connected on their network. So we could provide AT&T. Also, if you do any business in Canada, our cards will actually work on Rogers, Telus, Bell networks, even in Mexico as well. So just something to mention. Our SIM card program, from what we know and what my personal experience, I actually have a background in the payments industry prior to coming to OpConnect. So I know that, some of the pricing out there, what generally you guys are pitching, for wireless services. I mean, we've cut out a lot of the just junk fees and given agents and ISOs an opportunity to actually capitalize on a profit center, even with our solutions. So we just give one low flat monthly rate, which is, we'll go over that in just a moment. We don't charge an activation fee on all of the SIMs, which generally there's $25 to $35 activation fee. There's no transaction costs. You're not going to be getting hit with any kind of transaction cost when you're using our SIMs. In addition, we also don't charge to assist you in provisioning the terminal to actually get the connectivity working, which we see a lot of other companies charging fees for that as well. This slide here kind of details the SIM card sizes. This is very important, especially on the Poynt terminals, depending on the model that you actually get. I've seen a lot of them taking this middle one here, which is a micro SIM, which we also is called a 3FF, or the end one, which is a nano SIM, which is a 4FF. So those are kind of the two most popular SIM card sizes with the Poynt. But this is definitely something very important to notate, because when you order SIMs, you want to know what size the device that you're putting it in actually takes. And with Poynt, depending on the model, there's different sizes for the models. So just something to notate there. Let's move on to the next slide. This slide here is actually going to go over our pricing. So it's really simple and straightforward, like I mentioned earlier. No activation fees, no terminal configuration fees. You're at $7, which is a one-time cost per SIM card that you purchase. That's the only upfront fee. And then $10 per month, which is really simple and straightforward. So $10 a month is going to provide all the data you need for the connectivity. We also do assist you with the configuration of the Poynt devices to actually get the connectivity live on that. There's no fee for that. So, and we do have options. This question comes up quite a bit, where if you want to purchase a batch of cards and activate and deactivate, we can offer that solution. So we do give you the ability to activate and deactivate at your regard. So that's perfect if you work with a lot of event type merchants. So essentially everything connectivity, you can come to OpConnect. We'll provide you with what you need. And then in addition to that, something that a lot of agent ISOs aren't used to is actually getting the support on the connectivity side. If you're dealing with your ISO directly, a lot of times it's like, okay, pop the SIM in and out. Okay, doesn't work, we'll send you a new one. We could actually troubleshoot things and, get it working. And I mean, if it does come down to needing to replace it, we could overnight you a new card if that's needed. So we feel that we have a great offering for agents and ISOs that really keeps things very simple and empowers you to, potentially even add some revenue stream into your merchant portfolio with this kind of pricing. And then, obviously, we do have solutions for bulk pricing as well. If we have any agent ISOs out there that want to look at purchasing them in bulk, it's definitely something we could talk about. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of just a quick overview. We'd love to see any of you at ETA if you get an opportunity to head out there in Vegas. I think it's end of April, May. But yeah, I mean, feel free to come see us at our booth. Joey has shared my contact information. Feel free to shoot me an email or give me a call, and I'd love to answer any questions you have.
Yeah, thanks, Evan. And if I'm a payment org, how do I get started? What's kind of the process of getting going? And let's say I have some merchants that already need a SIM card. How easy is it to get set up with you guys? Is there an agreement, minimums, anything like that?
Yeah, so it's actually a really simple process. So essentially, we do have an agreement, very simple agreement. Just like MBA, just the basic information, doesn't require any kind of PG, personal guarantee. So we just collect that, get billing information. We could bill, either via ACH or credit card, depending on what works best for you. So that process is really easy. We just fill out an agreement, typically via DocuSign, get that done. There is no commitment, so it's just month to month. And like I mentioned earlier, you do have the ability to actually buy the SIM cards in bulk and activate and deactivate at your discretion. We do require at least a batch of 25 purchased at a time to actually have that ability. So that's the only caveat. Like, we can't just sell you one SIM. If it's just one SIM, 1 to 24, we're going to send them out active. They're billing right away. But 25 and above, we could actually just send those out to you, and you can activate and deactivate at your discretion. So, yeah, pretty simple process. And of course, really.
And then they can mark it up as well, right? Which is pretty neat.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you know, that my experience, I've seen a lot of people selling these for anywhere from $19.99 to $24.99 a month. So, you know, you purchase a SIM card from your ISO or your MSP, that's about what they're charging. So, I mean, this gives you an opportunity to add upwards of $15 in profit per merchant. And I mean, you guys probably know as well as anybody, profits are going down today, so that anywhere we could find an edge definitely helps.
Yeah, it definitely gives you some room for comfort, especially when you're selling Poynt and you know, you're trying to make up some of the other fees. Everyone has a PCI compliance fee, and they're trying to keep competitive and things like that. So definitely a great way to make up some costs. I did have your contact information in this slide, so I'll make sure everybody has that. I also have OpConnect in our Sales Hub, guys, so feel free to get information from there. I did one more question that came in. Stefan had said, basically, you know, for non-3G Poynt devices, let's say I have a bunch of Poynt terminals out in the field, but they're not 3G. Do you guys have a hotspot, hotspot solution or anything like that?
So we don't do any kind of hotspot solution, but we do have a direct IP solution. So I could actually share some of that information if you want to reach out to me directly. And then Joey, on your end, I'll give you some details on that maybe you could share on your site as well, in case that's of need. So with that solution, it'd plug into the terminal via IP, provide an internet connection on the cellular network of their choice. That actually opens up to where you can get the Verizon network on any terminal, and that'll actually make even point-of-sale systems more mobile and almost wireless. The only requirement would be power. So, I mean, that solution's actually perfect. We kind of stay away from the hotspot type stuff because we don't like to blast out that Wi-Fi signal, just because everything we do is based upon data usage. So if you have that Wi-Fi signal, somebody could jump on and obviously run up a good amount of data that's not authorized, and that's why we kind of don't broadcast our signals, but direct connect via IP. And it'll definitely keep them going.
Okay, perfect. And guys, I did get another question. Like Boomtown, OpConnect always bills the partner, and the partner bills the merchant. So you have the ability to mark those up. And just to clarify that, make sure that was understood. So yeah, we'll be, again, like our organization, we'll always bill the partner. You guys can basically set the price. We have the agreement with you. Again, another great way to obviously provide value to your merchant, which is great, but a great way to also, make some additional revenue. And then do you guys have enough, of course, Verizon, AT&T are, I think we use AT&T, you said SIM cards for the Poynt, and that's national coverage, right?
Yeah, national coverage. So, I mean, essentially, we have AT&T and Verizon are kind of our two preferred networks because, I mean, they're the best networks out there, and they actually have you covered in pretty much everywhere you go. I know that I've had some conversations, and I think Poynt may end up being able to be certified on Verizon sometime in the near future. So if they get that done, we could definitely put a Verizon card in there, no problem. But right now, yeah, it's primarily AT&T, and we haven't really seen any issues where service has been bad in any particular place.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Stefan. Really do appreciate you joining. Again, everybody, I'm going to have this recording, the deck sent out. I'll also have their information in our sales hub if you need to get in touch. We also had his information right here. So feel free to reach out. I know I've already introduced a bunch of groups when we did a preview of this product on our last webinar. And so, I know there's a lot of buzz around it. Again, a great additional way to make revenue. And they, they're pretty agnostic. So, great solution for the Poynt terminal, but they can kind of work with your team and however you need. Stefan, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, Joey, I appreciate you having me on the call, and feel free to reach out if anybody needs any more information.
All right, thanks a lot. And we're gonna move on to Spaceful. So basically, I thought we were gonna have this ready for us. I do have pricing coming up here shortly, but Spaceful has basically built, or they traditionally have built holders and kind of basically any type of hardware that stationizes the terminal to a desk, or they have it so it's basically trying to do the easiest way to explain it. But what they will do is they'll build hardware that also makes it a little bit more secure, right? So nobody can just run off of the Poynt terminal. It is a little bit more stationary. Just give me 1 second here. And so what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to have them join next week because I thought we were going to be ready this week, but apparently not, or next month. But here's kind of a blueprint of what it would look like, the hardware. And then here is also a view of that would be the stationary for the table, and this would be kind of the holster that would hold it up and have it facing the customer if needed, and it can kind of swivel around. All right, we're going to talk about the surcharge application. I know that my BMR is also on right now. I invited them on because there was obviously some big news about cash discount this month, and surcharge was the next question that everybody had. At this point, have a surcharge application. Poynt does have a surcharge application, so we want to talk a little bit more about this and how this works. But basically, here's an overview. And sorry, guys, I think I'm going to put some people on mute because we're getting a lot of feedback noise. Give me 1 moment. Sorry, everyone. Just 1 second. Is it my BMR team? Are you there? All right, sorry, guys. I'm having some technical issues with the audio. But basically, I have kind of how it works from a high level. We don't have to obviously read through all this. But I do have some other visuals on basically you open up the application, you can set the fee. It's going to give you, your own dashboard on how this is working. It's also basically built into the payment fragment. So as you're going through the orders, you're going to see all the orders right there. You'll also be able to set the charge by basically the convenience fee by credit card type. And then you can also do, I believe you can't do debit card today. I might be wrong, so feel free to hit me if I am wrong. But you can do the credit card, and then on the receipt, you're going to see basically the convenience fee right there. One of the questions I just got right now is there's support bin management. And I do have the My BMR team. I'm not sure if they can hear me. If you are there, we can't hear you. I see that you're trying to talk. But one of the questions I have is, does the surcharge application support bin management? So the merchant is not having to visually manage if the customer is using a debit card or credit card. So we'll get back to you if the team is not available to answer that. But that obviously is a good question. The receipt, of course, is the most important piece I wanted to show today, and how that looks, the convenience fee there. And then I do have their contact information. So this is available today. You're ready to go with this. So again, if you're switching from cash discount to to surcharge, you have the ability to get in touch with their team. I also put the website that they built, which is also in our sales hub. So go there, you click on the surcharge application, and you'll see the website that's specifically for surcharge on Poynt. And obviously, is a great reference for you guys. I also have Damon Luke listening in. He's basically the CEO of Cash Discount by Cash Discount LLC. I know there's two different applications we've talked about. I wanted to bring him on because he has some great programs that he's been helping our ISOs with. He actually is a lead generation tool. So if you can basically, because he owns cashdiscount.com, basically all the leads that they're acquiring, he can basically pass you information of those clients. He has a really good kind of rev share program there, or basically you own the processing. He just sets it up so you're getting leads. and they have to be qualified leads. The cash discount application he's been working heavily on. It's great to have him to contact because he's been working with engineers to make sure that it's working perfectly. But of course, we want to make sure that you guys have everything you need, to feel comfortable with the cash discount in regards to, how it's working on the Poynt terminal. It's also $9.95 a month. It is its own application. So what that means is it's not built into the payment fragment. You just use the cash discount app, which is the full register with catalog. There's no extra steps. You basically just go in there and it's already, once you set your fee and you're using the cash discount application, you're basically good to go. You don't have to use any other app. Just use the cash discount app. And I have written an article on this on how to use it. I also have a video. So feel free to reach out if you need more information on that. But again, go in there. You'll see the cash discount app. Download it. You basically just do the normal checkout. And then again, it's a reflection of the register application. So once you open the cash discount app, it's going to look like the register app, but it's going to have cash discount built in. You can toggle cash discount on and off during the transaction. But that's all, how you can utilize that today. Let us know if you have any questions. And again, I see I'm getting a lot of the surcharge questions, so feel free to email those to me. Again, pointsales@goboomtown.com. We want to help you with that. I do apologize. It sounds like we have an audio problem with the surcharge team today, but we'll make sure to get you all that information. Also, again, success at Go Boomtown. If your merchant is already set up and they're having issues, your merchants can always text help to 22666. I do not like sales reps using that number because again, if they're not an actual merchant, we won't be able to help the sales reps. So if your sales reps have problems, they can probably go to our team at Poynt Sales or Success. If your merchant has problems, give them that number so they can get information. If your merchant needs an activation or training, again, that is a separate service. So feel free to get more information on that. Sales reps can't just say, hey, activate my terminal or train my terminal on demand. Just want to be clear about that. Thank you everybody for today. Really enjoyed obviously speaking with Stefan from the OpConnect. This webinar will go out and be emailed to everybody, a copy of it as well. We'll have the same session at 2 p.m. will be basically identical. So reach out if you need anything else, or feel free to have team members join that to learn more about these products. Thanks everybody, and we'll happy selling. Talk to you soon.